Welcome, class, to today's lesson, Lesson 4.1. Strong mathematicians can demonstrate an understanding of properties in algebraic notation. So now you can get out your notebook, a pencil, you can write down today's date and the lesson number, and we'll get started. So first one with the new lesson, we have some new vocabulary words that we're going to want to use and remember. So we need to write these down. Expression. What is an expression? It's one or more numbers, variables, or number n variables with one or more operation. So as you can see, we just have a 4. That would be an expression. 4x, so there's a number and a variable. Here you have 8a minus 3, and you have 7 plus 4. So those are all different types of expressions that we can have where it's a number and a letter, or a variable, all mixed together. So I'm going to write that one down right now. An equation is a statement that two expressions are equal. It has an equal sign. So notice they're saying that this side of the equation, 40 plus 25, is equal to 65, which makes it a true statement. Just as we have 16 divided by 4, we happen to go first to give us 4. Then minus 3 equals 1, which means that they are equal. So usually when a teacher marks them wrong, because we're looking for an equation where one side needs to equal the other side. And if they're not equal, then that's why usually we mark them wrong as teachers. So those are an equation, those are expressions. So you can pause this right now, write down the definition for equation and the examples. Two more words that you're going to see when we'll be performing some of these actions today. First one is simplify. Simplify, we're performing operations to combine like terms. So we use an operation to be adding, subtracting, dividing, multiplying to find like terms. And then we have the word evaluate, which means you're going to substitute a value for a letter or a symbol, and then simplify the expression. And we'll see some of those as we set up our examples on our next page. So you can pause right now, write down these vocabulary words in your notebook. So today we have 6 examples that we're going to go through. We're going to how do you work these? How do you solve them? What are you going to do with them when you see them in your activities today? So first off, we have 8p plus p plus p. So notice there's no equal sign, so we're not trying to find out what they equal. So really we're simplifying, we're putting these terms together. So 8p plus another p would give us 9p, plus another p would give us 10p. So if we would simplify those, it would simplify to 10p. And we have 5z minus z. So if we have 5z and we subtract 1z, we would have 4z's. And if we subtract another one, we would have 3z's. So if we would have 3z's, that's a fun word, 3z's. Notice these two right here were both in the simplify. We weren't necessarily trying to solve them, but we were simplifying them by putting all of those letters together. So another reminder, if you see just a regular letter, that means like a 1 in front of it. So this would be like a 1z, but that's kind of redundant, so we don't need to have the 1 in there because z and 1z really mean the same thing. But to see where we get the 3 from, 5 minus 1 would give us 3. The next one's now we're kind of into that we need to solve these, right? It's kind of like equations that we need to solve. So we have equations right here. So we can figure out 48 divided by m equals 6. So what does m equal? Well, if we know a division problem, the inverse operation would be multiply. So 6 times what gives us 48? And that would be 8. So our m would equal 8 in this equation. Here, if we're trying to solve x, see if you can beat me to it. What do you think x equals? X times 3 equals 21. X should be, hopefully we've been shouting it out, 7. Because why? 7 times 3 is 21. Here, so those are equations. Now, our last one is all about evaluating. So we're going to evaluate, which means we have an equation, right, like here. We have a number that is associated with a letter. So if a equals 4, what would this problem equal? So we have to put 4 in for where our a is, and now go from there. So 4 plus 6 would give us 10. 19 minus 10 would give us 9. So our answer for this problem would be 9. If a would equal 4, then this problem would equal 9. Same thing too, d equals 3. 24 divided by 3 times d plus 7. So if you do both of those parts, 24 divided by 3 would give us 8. This is also a multiplication symbol. And so this is 3, so 3 plus 7 gives us 10. So 8 times 10 would equal 80. So when d equals 3, this equation would equal 80. So now you want to pause we're done our work right here. Pause the video, write down these examples, write down those vocabulary words to help you, and the answer. So as we move forward with your work, you can repeat the same thing. And right here we have your problems for you. So you have a set of 4 problems. So right now I want you to draw a line above your examples. Right now, box 3, now your turn. Numbers 1, 2, 3, and 4. And I can just solve each of these problems right now. So you can write down what the equation is, show your work, and your answer so we can see and help you along the way. You probably know what's behind the box. What is it? Ooh, write a real world example to match this equation. So not only do we see equations, can we come up with word problems that to create? So if you want that challenge, go for it. Right now, I want to see if you can create a real world word problem that could match that equation. So that would be the work you would have to do. As always, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, feel free to write those down or share those out. Also, if you have any strategies that worked for you, make sure you share those as well, because it can help other people who are still working through the learning process with us. Once again, thank you for another great lesson.